For today's question, we are going to talk about if I'm looking to get to the next level, does that mean I have to learn new skills or at least improve the ones I have? Is that the only way?
I think it's an interesting question. My initial thought is like, well, duh, you have to keep learning and improving your skills. But I think my bias is, I'm a lifelong learner, so I love to learn new things, and I'm constantly learning new things. And it's not even about like getting to the next level. It's if I'm not learning new things or being able to, build skills, gain new experiences, then what am I doing all day? You know what I mean? Like I just
Yeah.
how am I approaching work then? And I recently was listening to a podcast that was actually talking about this a little bit, and I loved how the person framed it up. She basically said like work is the only place that you get paid to learn, and that like smacked me in the face kind of because I was like, well, I paid for college and I paid for graduate school, like I paid to go learn things, and now I am being paid to learn.
Yeah, it's so true. I think that idea is so spot on. And I know I'm going to be thinking about that for the rest of the day and thinking about how do I apply that to my own approach to work because I am getting paid to learn because oh my gosh, so much on the job training. It's funny though that you start there because I started in an almost opposite direction, which is when I'm framing that through the lens of the work that we've done, talking to women about how to get your career to the next level, what I want people to think about is no, you can start right now. You don't have to wait to apply for a job or wait to, think about getting to the next level or asking for a promotion until you've learned X, Y, or Z or gotten this or that certification or degree. What I think about is you have the skill set that you need to get to the next level. But hearing what you say, I think it actually morphs my idea into you have that skill set and there are specific things that you can do with your existing skill set that will help you get to the next level. That on one hand you could use that as the sentence, but on the other, yeah, it is gonna involve learning and growing. That's simply part of it.
I mean, it's interesting too because some of it's a timing. I don't know how time plays a factor in this, right? Because
Mm.
if I just got to the next level and I'm already like, okay, how do I get to the next level? And remember, this goes back to what exactly is the next level? Because it's not always the next promotion, right? I think the framing for this question is more so, how do I get the next promo? How do I get the next title? That next step up. That's the way I'm interpreting this, at least.
Yeah. Or
Um,
that new job if you're thinking about switching or you're
yes,
applying for something else. Yeah.
yes. So I think for that, you um, studies show women generally don't apply to jobs until we think we have 100% of the
Exactly.
capabilities, which don't do that. Don't wait until you have everything. Because honestly, as a hiring manager, I know when I'm writing the job description, rarely am I going to get all 100%, right? Like realistically, but that's the ballpark that I'm looking for. So I would say, apply for that job or go for the next level, but continue learning. And so this is one of my hiring manager biases, I will say. Um, is one of the questions I often like to ask is tell me the last time you learned something. How'd you go about it? And I ask that because I'm part of, well, one, I am genuinely curious, but two, I want to know if I hire them, they're going to have to learn new things. Even if they've done this job and very similar work before, they're not going to know how this team operates, how our organizational culture is. If they haven't been in this company before, they're going to have to learn the company processes. I mean, there's a lot of things that you have to learn when you take on new roles, even if you have already been in that company, right? And
Yep.
so I want to understand, like, how do they go about learning? Because if they're waiting for me to tell them to go do X, Y, and Z, that's not who I want to hire. I want to hire someone who's going to go find the answers for themselves because they're genuinely curious, not because they feel like they have to.
Yeah. So if I wrapped this up, my takeaway from this is learning's always going to be part of just being alive and working and growing on the job. At the same time, don't feel like you can't attempt to level up, and however you're defining level up for yourself, until you have learned a new skill or you have learned something else, go for it now.